Welcome. Today we're going to explore our own internal anatomy. But this isn't a biology lesson, not at all. Instead, we're using anatomy as a powerful metaphor for leadership and self-awareness. It's a way to understand the complex systems that are always operating inside of us so we can lead with greater alignment and presence.
So let's just dive right in with a pretty fundamental question. Beyond what your logical mind tells you, how do you really know something? How do you sense that a decision is the right one, or that a path is the wrong one? Pondering this really opens the door to understanding that we have multiple ways of knowing, ways that go far beyond just our intellect.
The sources we're drawing from today suggest that every single one of us has an inner blueprint for making sense of the world. It's like a map to our own internal authority. Our goal here is to learn how to read that map so we can navigate our lives and our leadership with a lot more clarity and a deeper sense of purpose.
Now, our map begins somewhere you might not expect, not in the mind, but deeper, down in the body. It all starts with two fundamental streams of intelligence that operate below the level of conscious thought. These are our non-intellectual ways of knowing. And these two streams, they're really distinct. One is advisory, it's applied, it kind of helps us understand how to act with wisdom. The other is immediate, it's reactive, it's that survival mechanism that kicks in without thinking. Let's call them our intuitive intelligence and our instinctive intelligence.
Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. This ancient map uses a powerful metaphor, assigning these different intelligences to specific organs. It's not literal biology, of course, but it's a brilliant way to describe different energies. The kidneys are seen as the home of cool, applied intuition, the source of sound advice. The liver, on the other hand, well, it governs our hot, instinctive reactions. One guides, the other protects. Think about a high-stakes negotiation. Your liver is that jolt of adrenaline telling you to fight or flee, while your kidneys are the calm, quiet inner voice advising you on the wisest long-term move.
Okay, so let's move from the body up to the next part of our map. We're going to ascend from the body's intelligence to the mind, which, in this model, orients our consciousness in three really distinct ways, giving us perspective in time and space. So first up, there's retrospection. This model associates this faculty with the right lobe of the brain. Its whole job is to look backward, to understand our origins, our history. It gives us our foundation by helping us answer the question, where did I come from?
Second is what's called extrospection, which this model links to the left lobe. Now, this isn't about the past, it's about the present. It's the ability to look outward, to observe the world objectively, and to understand reality just as it is, right now.
And third, associated with the back of the brain where it meets the spine, is introspection. This perspective doesn't look to the past or to the outer world. It turns inward. It's what connects the mind to the body, helping us understand our own subjective experience, our motives, and what's really going on in our inner world.
All right, now we get to what is maybe the deepest and most dynamic layer of our inner map. This is about a fundamental tension that exists within our very nature, a core duality that really drives so much of our behavior.
This whole concept is just brilliantly illustrated in the etymology of the Hebrew word for man, Adam. You can actually break it down. Aleph is the first letter of the alphabet, and it represents a silent, unified spiritual essence. And Dam literally means blood, which represents our physical, earthy existence. So from this viewpoint, we are, all of us, a fusion of spirit and blood.
This duality creates two powerful inner drivers. We call one the presence-driven self. That's the Aleph part of us, the part that seeks connection to a higher purpose, to true alignment. The other is the performance-driven self. That's the Dam, our physical nature, which often tries to find that sense of unity through external things like achievement or validation. This right here, this is the core tension we all have to navigate.
So, okay, given this internal tension and all these complex systems, how do we actually grow? How do we evolve? Well, this map reveals a really profound mechanism for creating what we call space for becoming.
Let's look at this powerful idea, captured in a quote from the mystic master, the Baal Shem Tov. Now, when he said this, he wasn't just being arrogant or contrarian, he was making a really deep point about the nature of reality itself and about the engine of all growth.
So here's the crucial point. Every system, every theory, every lifestyle has what this model calls a loophole. It's a contradiction, an unexplainable point, but, and this is key, it's not a flaw. It is the essential opening that allows us to ascend to a higher level of consciousness.
So you see how this creates a really clear cycle for growth. First, we establish a way of being, a theory for our life. Then, inevitably, we find a contradiction, a place where our model just doesn't work anymore. And that loophole, that very contradiction, becomes the doorway to a new, more expansive understanding. It's literally evolution in action.
Okay, so let's bring all the pieces of our map together now. How do we take this whole anatomy of our inner world and turn it into a practical framework for presence-driven leadership and, well, for upright living?
Here's the integrated model. True alignment really involves a few key things. First, it's about discerning between the calm advice of your intuition and the hot reaction of your instinct. Second, it's balancing the perspectives of your past, the present reality, and your own inner self. Third, it's about consciously navigating that tension between your presence-driven self and your performance-driven self. And finally, it's about learning to see those contradictions not as failures, but as openings for growth.
Now, to make this real for you, here's a reflection prompt. Just take a moment to consider this. Where in your work or your life right now do you most feel that pull, that tension between your deep sense of purpose and your more reactive, performance-driven impulses? Just noticing it. That's the first step.
And here is a micro practice to put this right into action. This week, anytime you're facing a significant choice, just pause. Ask yourself this simple question. Is this decision coming from my kidneys, from that place of calm, applied intuition? Or is it coming from my liver, from a place of heated, immediate reaction? It's amazing what a powerful tool for discernment that simple question can be.
So we'll end with this. Knowing that every system contains the seed of its own transcendence, the real question isn't if you have an opening for growth, but where it is. What contradiction in your life right now is not a problem to be solved, but a doorway just waiting for you to walk through.